The best way for you to set boundaries in a relationship, right, to where your partner is on board to abide by and agree with those boundaries and live by them, respect them, right, is by making sure the boundaries you set are boundaries that you both believe in, which requires you to understand what their value structure is, right? What are their principles? What are the foundational pieces that their belief systems are built on? And if we're talking boundaries specifically, right, that's going to come back to what is your partner's belief system around self-care, why it's essential, what it looks like in practice, why certain things are necessary to protect and take care of your mental well-being, your emotional and physical well-being. So if you're going to get anyone, let alone your partner, to be on the same page about boundaries that you want to set for the relationship that you believe in, you're going to have to bring them to a centered space of understanding and being on the same page about why what you want to set as a boundary that you will hope they will respect and want to abide by is something that meshes with what they require for self-care for themselves, right? See, because usually when we're talking about setting boundaries with our partners and the ground rules for ourselves and what lines they can't cross, it's a me thing, right? It's about you. So they're trying to listen to you, about you, for you. But if you have some boundaries or whatever the case is that maybe they disagree with for whatever reason, now hopefully if you guys share similar values and principles, they wouldn't disagree with these things already. But sometimes, even whenever they may have the same values, it's easy for the other person to be overlooking that you're actually speaking to something that they would want to honor because they want that same thing given to them, right? Same courtesy. But when it's coming off like, hey, this is about me, and you better not, a person can take a defensive stance, even though you have positive reasons for saying this, that in a general sense, they would agree with too if they weren't feeling like they're being maybe reprimanded or talked at or whatever the case is. So when you're setting boundaries with your partner, always give substance behind why that boundary is so essential for not just you, but for both of you guys to protect your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Rope them into it. Don't just tell them about the thing that doesn't work for you. Tell them how the thing doesn't work for you. You feel it wouldn't work for them either, and how you need to respect it as well for them. You offer them the same courtesy because obviously you're not going to be okay with something, doing something to them or respect to them that you're not okay with them doing to you in return, right? You would never be okay with something that you don't want done to you, right? So always break down why that boundary not only protects you and why something that's not good for you, but why you feel it wouldn't be good or healthy for them as well. And then when you identify that, tie it back to the morality, the principles, right? The values, what you feel about their belief system that would violate them operating in respect to how they like to feel as a person, their self-identity, and how they wouldn't want to be infringed upon that way. And obviously, if you're with someone that cares about you, which I'm hoping you guys are in a relationship with people that you feel genuinely does love you. Maybe they have their issues, maybe they have things to work through and some toxic ways about them that they got to work through, but they still at the end of the day do love you as best they can from whatever position they're in. So if we're in a relationship with someone that you can say actually does love you, they're not going to want to go against them self-identifying as a good person when you start pulling up the value reasons, the principles, the morals as to why they want to honor these boundaries, right? But you got to know what that is first to be able to do that. So if you don't know what your partner's values and their principles and all those things are, just more conversations need to be had so that whenever you have conversations around rules and boundaries and so forth for the relationship, there's way more weight behind it and it makes more sense to both of you and doesn't feel like it's just self-serving to one person. So first, state the boundaries in an all-inclusive way, not just making it about them following it, but acknowledging that you're going to follow these boundaries too, right? Second, paint the significance in the boundaries, right? What do they help to protect self-care wise for your mental, emotional, and physical well-being? Why is it something that you feel is good for both of you guys and what you both actually need? And then third, tie it back to your values, your morality, your principles, and your belief systems, right? Why doing these things, respecting these boundaries, protects the self-identity for both of you guys. So you can both feel like the people that you want to feel like, being healthy, happy, and loving to your partner, and not some sort of bad guy. You do these effectively, and it'll make setting boundaries in your relationship much more effective and something that you both don't have a problem honoring, and you actually feel more excited about honoring because it protects both of you and allows you to protect your identity of who you want to be as a person. If you guys need help with this in your relationships, for you or you and your partner, DM me coaching and we'll get to work. Let's get it.